Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Cory Wages.
And I'm Amanda Weber. With us today is Maria Kleimenova, a Russian exchange student. Maria, what has been your experience like in the United States?
Well, I find my staying in the United States very useful, especially in terms of practice of English here, because it's a great help for me. And actually that was the main purpose. When I came here, I decided to practice my English as much as I could, as much as it was possible. So, and of course it is very useful. I found a lot about the culture, about people, and I found a lot of differences here. So I really liked it. It's a great change for me. You know, it's always useful to have a change in your life.
Right, it is.
How did you end up attending SAU?
Well, actually, it was not my choice, because I was chosen by the Department of Moscow State Pedagogical University, where I study. So they choose me according to my grades and according to how active I've been during all years of education. So, and then they just suggested my going here, which I accepted with great pleasure.
Right, it's a big honor to come here, right? It's the elite students, I understand.
Well, yeah, students have to work hard to have such an opportunity. Some of them go to Great Britain, and some of them go to the United States.
Well, since it is such an honor to come here, is there anyone here at SAU who has impacted you and who has been a lasting memory for you?
Yes, there are a lot of people like that, actually, and I'm very happy that now I know so many people, and I didn't expect so many people to be so kind towards us. It's so nice.
What kind of classes have you been taking here at SAU?
Well, actually, I have 13 hours of studying a week. These are mass communication, Anglo-American geography, then principles of speech, folk and social dancing.
Oh, that sounds fun. Do you get to dance a lot in there?
Well, yes, that was interesting, and it was fun and quite easy. And also keyboarding, 5 all in all.
5 classes. You did say, you've got to meet a lot of people and everyone's nice here. Do you feel that the professors here at SAU care about their students more, or do they treat their students the same as in Russia?
Well, they do care. They care a lot, and I think that in some respect they're more fair towards students than professors in Russia, because back at home, usually professors require a lot from you. They expect a lot from you, a lot of hard work. And here I think it's more reasonable, because the size of the material you have to study, you have to be prepared for the test, is less, but you are able to learn it. It's more effective.
Right.
Yeah, and they really care about students.
So do the professors in Russia just give you lumps like of many chapters to study at one time, or is it like here where you just basically get about 3 chapters and you...
No, because here you have to study about 4 or 3 chapters to an exam, and you have about 4 exams a semester in one class. In Russia it's all different, because we have 2 examination periods, one in winter and one in summer. So we have to study all the material we passed during the semester for one exam. It's a huge amount of,
remembering all that.
I know at Russia where you basically have one topic of studying all the time, and over here you have a whole bunch of a collective pool of stuff that you can take whatever you want to take. In Russia, what's your emphasis on?
My major is linguistics. My major is English. It's my core subject. And I also have to study German. also fundamentally, if I may put it like this. So these are the two subjects I have to study fundamentally. And also my major implies that I should be a teacher of English. So I have a lot of classes like methods of teaching, psychology, psychology of children, you know, all that, to be able to cope with children, to work with children, and to convey the material.
Sounds like a lot of studying to me, other than just one area.
Yeah, a lot of studying.
Well, have you changed a lot since you've come to the States?
I don't think so. I don't really think so, but maybe I've changed in the respect of my communicating with people, because here I have to be not what I'm usually at home. I mean, in communicating with people, I always have to say hi, how are you, you know, all that.
Right. You don't do that in
No,
Russia?
not really, not really. And people usually greet each other in streets, even if they're strangers. Even if they don't know each other here, we don't do that, because, you know, Moscow is huge, and if you greet everyone, it will take so much time.
Right.
When you graduate, when you go back to and graduate, what do you plan? Do you plan on becoming a professor?
No, I don't think that teaching is my cup of tea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me either.
It's very hard, and the more I study, the more I realize that I was not born for that. But before my coming to the United States, I passed an interview for a job. It's a TV company, and they want me to be a translator and a journalist.
Fun.
Yeah, so when I come back home, first I have to pass my exams, and then I will go and I will work.
I'll work for that.
You'll be busy then, huh?
Yeah, I will have to be busy, because now I'm skipping a semester, and still I'll have to pass the exams.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, just getting off that subject for a little while, what do you think about all the construction going on the SAU campus?
You mean the lights and all that?
Oh, the lights and how they tore down, you know, some buildings and everything.
Yeah, I think it's so beautiful, and especially the Overstreet building. It's so beautiful when it's dark now.
And and they've got it all lit up in the columns and everything.
Yeah, and I saw the parade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked it very much, and it is really, you know, you can feel the atmosphere of Christmas.
Right.
And you can feel the joy, because people are so joyful, and everybody is so, I think that there is some unique spirit here, and I was managed to feel it. I really did, so
That's
it was
good.
cool.
Well, speaking of Christmas, when you're going back to Russia, is Christmas the same in Russia as it is in the United States?
No, it's not the same. Even the date is different. We have Christmas on the 7th of January, not on the 25th of December, but on the 7th of January. It's because of the religion, because we are Orthodox, and that's why it's all different. And even it's not so widely celebrated as New Year. New Year is more popular among Russians because a lot of them do not believe in God. It's not traditional to celebrate Christmas because of the Soviet Union reign and all that.
So y'all don't put up a whole lot of lights and everything like we do?
We do. Yeah, we do. In my family, we celebrate it because we believe in God, so we celebrate it. And many families do. Now it's all resurrected, if I may put it like that. This tradition, it's being resurrected, which is really great.
That's good.
What's the Russian name for Santa Claus? I mean, is there
Y'all
a
have
different
Santa
one?
Claus?
Yeah, we have not Santa Claus. We have Father Frost,
Father
I've
Frost.
heard of Father Frost.
and he has a granddaughter who is his helper. She helps him to give presents for kids. So her name is, well, in English it will be something like Snowy, Snow Girl.
Do they come through the chimney? I was saying
Yeah,
the same
through
way,
the chimney, yeah, or through window.
or whatever they have.
Yeah, whatever you have.
Okay, it's a little bit, we're going back a little bit, but if there's in Magnolia, you know how you saying you feel all the spirit and stuff, and you had a fun time. Was there anything that you would change, you know, from living in Moscow and then coming to Magnolia, a little bit small, well, a lot smaller?
A lot smaller.
But what would you change about that? Anything you would change about that?
Yeah. Well, personally, I would add some more entertainment.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I really felt that difference because Moscow is a huge city. It's the center of culture and everything. And Magnolia is so tiny, and there is no cinema theater even now.
I know.
It's closed.
It's just horrible.
So, yeah, bowling, something like that, because people really lack it, I think.
I do too. Did y'all get to travel a whole lot for your entertainment? Did y'all go outside of Magnolia?
Yeah, we traveled a lot thanks to our friends. We traveled a lot. We've been to Tennessee, we've been to Louisiana, well, some places in Arkansas, such as Little Rock, Hot Springs. We traveled a lot, and I think that the place I like most of all is New Orleans.
Yes,
Oh.
they've got a lot of
So
spirit, don't they?
beautiful. It's so beautiful, and I think it's different because it's not like an American city, but at the same time, it's not a European city. It's a mixture of both, and it's so beautiful. I enjoyed it being there. But actually, a lot of places are very nice. Hot Springs, the nature is wonderful.
That's good.
So did you do all your traveling on the weekends?
Most of the time, yeah.
If you weren't traveling, what else did y'all do, or did you do on the weekends? You go.
We usually go to our friends. These are either international students or people from the United States, Americans. Well, I think that people are very hospitable here, and everybody cares a lot about us, and everybody seems to be scared that we are bored or something, so a lot of people
keep you
invite
entertained.
us to their places. It's really very nice.
So you've met a whole lot of friends here at SAU.
Both Americans and international students.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good because now we have friends all over the world.
That's right. That's right.
So, what do you miss the most about Russia right now?
My parents and my friends, and also the chance to go to theaters, exhibitions, restaurants, museums, whatever. Yeah, I think that those opportunities, and my family most of all.
Well, what will you miss about SAU?
The system of education and the people I met here.
Your friends.
Yeah, these are the two things that I will really miss.
Right.
What's like probably the most common way you kept in touch with your family while you were away? By phone, email, all of the above?
Yeah, everything. Well, I usually call my grandparents because they're not interactive, they don't have email. So I call my grandparents, and my parents call me once a week. I use phone cards. I buy phone cards, and we keep in touch by means of email with my family, with my mother. Yeah, and practically every day we email each other.
So is there anything else going on after you leave us other than taking your exams, or any big activity going on when you get home?
Yeah, first I'll have to take my exams, and then there's New Year and Christmas, holidays.
Celebrate since you're home. Huh?
Yeah, and my friends are really waiting for me impatiently. They send me emails saying we're ready to meet you. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
What were some of the customs when you came over here that I guess you would say were odd or not too common to you when you came over here? What would be some of those?
You mean in communication?
Yeah, like communication of society. If I know how we're pretty much a keep to ourselves bunch, or you don't mind in people's business or something like that.
The first difference was that everybody greets each other. But we don't have it. then, well, some holidays are different from what we have. We don't have Thanksgiving and Halloween. Halloween is a nice holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pity that we don't have it in Russia. It's so much fun. But I don't know, people are people everywhere. There are just some slight difference, but still it's quite the same.
Well, how long have you been here?
Since August, since the 15th of August. First we spent 4 days in New York, and then we came here on the 19th of August.
Well, how did you get from the airport to Magnolia?
Dr. Watt met us, and he took us here by car.
That's good.
What's some of the stuff that y'all visited while you was in New York? Or did y'all go to any theaters there or museums?
Yeah, we lived in the theater district.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to Broadway and we saw the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, we went to Metropolitan Museum, Guggenheim Museum. We walked along the Fifth Avenue. It was so much fun. The Empire State Building, everything.
Well, isn't it kind of scary, though, with all the terrorism and everything, flying back and forth and visiting all these places?
It is scary. I must admit that it is scary, but I try not to think about it, just not to spoil my impression.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good.
How's the school system different from the United States? Because I know you said you'll miss the SAU school system. What are some of the differences there?
Well, there are a lot of differences here. Well, beginning with the system of examinations. As I have already said, we have 2 examination periods in summer and in winter. Then what I really like about this system of education is the freedom of choice. You are able to choose whatever you want, and you are able to change your mind whenever you want. And the great advantage is double major and the system of major and minor. I wish we had it, but well, we don't have it. And what I also like is that you are able to make your own schedule, so it's so convenient. In Russia, we have to make our mind what department we are going to enter, and we cannot change it during the course. We study for 5 years, not for 4 years. But we have a European and American system of education that is a 4-year education and a 6-year education. So you can get a bachelor degree and then you can get master degree. But most people in Russia prefer the traditional system of education when you have to study for 5 years to get your degree, because usually this is what is required by employers and by people who provide you with work, with job. Yeah, and well, what else can I say about it? Well, I think that what is very inconvenient about our system of education is that everything is planned not by you, but it's scheduled not by you, and sometimes there are subjects which I don't want to take, but I have to. That's awful.
So does it take you a long time to really think about what department you want to go to in Russia? How long did you really think about? Because that's a big decision, like you said, you can't change your mind.
Yeah, usually people judge by their abilities, what they're good at. If you're good at math, that means that you will probably go to some, some university where math is required. And well, if you're good at languages, as me, I chose this university. If you're good at history and literature, well, you choose something else. So humanitarian and science institutes, universities.
So is there like a common age? I mean, let's say if you took your 5 years in some math college, and when you say you change your mind afterwards, does people I guess what's the question is,
Have non-traditional
yeah.
students like we do here.
do people go
older-
back and like, get different degrees and other stuff, or do they just usually stick with what they usually get the first time?
They usually stick because it'll cause them a lot of problems to change their mind and to go to study something else, because they'll have to pass the entrance exams, which are not easy at all, and they usually require a year of preparation or so. So usually people don't do that because it's too complicated.
Well, what is it like being a foreign exchange student here on SAU?
Well, for us, it means that we are the center of many people's attention, where people care so much about us, and everybody is, scared that we will feel homesick or whatever.
Right.
At first, when we came here, we were so much excited about this place, and we didn't feel homesick at all. But everybody was, so considerate to us, and well, it's really great.
That's good.
What would be your lasting impression about SAU?
Well, it's difficult to say. I think that the education.
The education.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say to a foreign exchange student to motivate them to come to a university in the States or even SAU?
I would say come and practice your English as much as possible. Come and meet different people, and come just for a change.
I know the accents here, Southern, are really hard. Was it hard to?
It was very hard. The thing is that we learned British English. So it was a British variant of English at our university. We listened to the tapes, which were, where English people spoke, not American people.
Right.
So we were not used to American accents at all. And at first we didn't understand a lot, especially Southern accent. But now it's okay. Now it's quite all right.
That's good. If you could use one word to describe SAU in your experience here in Magnolia, what would it be?
Quiet.
Quiet?
Yes, it's so quiet in Magnolia.
Yes, it is quiet in Magnolia.
Unless you stay too long in the dorms, then people get a little rowdy there.
Yeah.
No, it's quiet everywhere.
Really?
Even in New York.
No, I'm in
there's
this
just
SAU.
Magnolia.
place.
That's
I'm in
right.
this place.
That's right.
New York is different.
Right, really different. Huh?
Okay. What kind of differences are there in the United States that opposed to your country and like political wise? How's that go? Is there like politicians and stuff there?
I think that the level of politicians is much higher here. I mean, how they speak, how they behave. It's more professional than in Russia. Well, that's my opinion. And in terms of freedom of speech, of course, I can see that it's all different. So we're trying to be a democratic society.
Right.
Still, we have some restrictions which you don't have. And I think that in terms of economy, it's also American society is more free than Russian society.
So the difference between Russia and America really has to do with the society, not really. Is the culture a drastic change?
Yes, it's all different. Everything is different. But, well, there are some certain things which are the same here and in Russia. I mean, people, I think that Russian people are also very hospitable, and they're ready to help whenever you want their help. But in terms of economy and media, yes, it's different.
That's good. Well, Maria, we want to thank you for visiting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the SAU report.